All right, let's jump right in. When you think about the things that keep a business owner up at night, you're probably thinking about profits, marketing, maybe supply chains. I'm willing to bet the mop bucket doesn't even make the list. But what if the biggest, most overlooked risk in your entire building wasn't in the boardroom, but right there on that supposedly clean floor? Well, today we're going to look at how one company is completely rethinking commercial cleaning, turning a simple chore into a seriously powerful risk management tool.
So, I've got a question for you, and I want you to really think about it. Is the way your office is being cleaned right now actually making it safer, or is it secretly a massive liability just waiting to happen? It's a question most of us have probably never even considered, but the answer, well, it might just surprise you.
So let's break down these so-called hidden costs of clean. It really comes down to a few major issues. First, and this one's the most obvious, is safety. A wet floor is literally a slip and fall lawsuit waiting to happen. Second, there's no paper trail. If something does happen, you have no proof of what was done, when, or how. You're completely exposed. And third, the quality is just all over the place, which, over time, totally erodes the trust of the people using the building every single day. And the result of all that? It's a perfect storm of higher insurance claims, bigger premiums, and a damaged reputation. But, where there's a big problem, there's usually a huge opportunity for a fresh idea. And in this case, the solution didn't come from some massive corporation. Nope, it came from a family that was just trying to help out a friend. And this is where SGHG Cleaning comes into the picture. They started back in 2025, not with some grand business plan to take over the world, but from a really practical need. A friend was having a ton of issues with tenants at their commercial property, and this family just stepped in to try and solve the problem. And what they realized was, these issues weren't unique at all. They were industry-wide. So from that experience, they built a whole new philosophy. And hey, don't let fancy terms like risk management and Six Sigma throw you off. All it really means is they decided to treat cleaning like any other critical part of a business. They use a data-driven approach that's all about measuring results, documenting everything, and always looking for ways to improve. And they do it all with the kind of accountability you'd expect from a family business. So how do they actually pull this off? What's the secret sauce? Well, their whole system is built on this really clear 4-part framework that turns cleaning from just a service into a legitimate strategic process. Here they are, the 4 pillars. First up, they completely ditch the old wet mop and bucket in favor of steam. Huge difference. Second, they cut way back on the use of harsh chemicals. Third, and this one is absolutely key, they use daily checklists. And finally, they wrap it all together into a continuous risk management cycle. See how each step builds on the last? It creates a complete system. And this right here, this is the heart of their entire system. It's just a simple 1-page checklist, but its power is incredible. Every single day, after every single visit, both the SGHG staff and the client sign off on it. This creates this perfect, unbroken chain of accountability. There's no more guesswork, no more he said, she said. It is all documented, it's all agreed upon, and it's all filed away, totally audit ready. It's transparency in its purest form. Okay, but does this newfangled method actually work any better? I mean, that's the real question, right? Well, SGHG doesn't just want you to take their word for it. They rely on data. So let's look at a direct head-to-head comparison between their steam process and the traditional wet mop. Now, before we get to the numbers, let's just set the stage here. On one side, you have the old way, dangerous wet floors, a ton of chemicals, and results that are, let's be honest, pretty hit or miss. On the other side, you have the SGHG way, floors that are instantly dry, almost no chemicals, and a superior, documented level of sanitation every time. The difference in the approach alone is just massive. And here's the data to prove it. Just look at these charts. For slip hazards, the SGHG process scores a 20 compared to traditional mopping at 80. That's a 75% reduction in risk right there. For chemical use, it's 10 versus 90. I mean, that's a gigantic improvement for the air quality and the environment. And when it comes to sanitization effectiveness, SGHG hits a 95, blowing past the 70 from traditional methods. The numbers don't lie. It's not even close. So when you have a process this data-driven, something really powerful happens. Cleaning stops being just an expense on your spreadsheet, and it becomes a real, tangible business asset. It's something that is actively working to protect your company. And this timeline shows that it is not a one-and-done kind of deal. It is a continuous cycle. It all starts with a thorough risk assessment. Then it moves into that daily service with a checklist. That's followed by reporting and feedback.
and it's all maintained through quarterly audits. It's a living, breathing system that's designed for constant improvement, not just for wiping down floors.
If you remember just one number from all of this, please make it this one, 50%. That is SGHD's target reduction in slip-related incidents. For any facility manager, for any business owner, a number like that isn't just a statistic, it's peace of mind. It's a real, measurable reduction in your single biggest cleaning-related liability. So let's just bring it all home. What does all of this actually mean for your business, for your bottom line? Well, it means lower insurance exposure because now you have audit-ready records for absolutely everything. It means happier tenants because they can literally see the commitment to quality and even give feedback with QR codes. It means a healthier, eco-safe building, but ultimately what it means is you're not just hiring a cleaning crew anymore, you're gaining a strategic partner that actively helps you manage risk.
And I think this commitment is just captured perfectly in their own words. Every SGHG partnership is measured, documented, and continuously improved under our Six Sigma framework. That's the promise. It's not just about being clean. It's about being smart. It's about being safe, and it's about being accountable. This is a whole new standard for an industry that really hasn't changed much in decades.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? SGHG applied this high-level, data-driven business framework to something as mundane as mopping a floor, and they completely transformed its value. It really makes you wonder, what other everyday, overlooked industries are just waiting for a similar, systematic rethink? What's the next mop that's about to be turned into a powerful management tool?